Tortoise Care for Grassland Tortoises 101. First, you need a T10. This light needs to be on 12 hours a day. This is different than the basking light, which also needs to be on 12 hours a day. They can choose to be under their basking light, which needs to be between 98 degrees and 101 degrees. I just did it a little while ago. Whoops, I got it on Celsius. Let me see if I can switch it over. I do not have my glasses on. Let me see if I can switch that over. And we are in range. You use a tester with it to make sure you are in range. See that red dot? Make sure that your light zone is in a safe range for your basking spot. So you check it. This light is to give them all their daylight requirements for their bones. It must be a T10 light, and it must be in a tube format. You cannot use one light for all, because they are not going to stay under this basking light enough to give them the needs for this light. You cannot combine them. This is very important. They are going to get scoot deformities if you do not have this specific light and this specific light. And they need both also for digestion. They cannot digest their food if they do not have 12 hours of daylight. And they are not fed at daylight. These are not nocturnal animals. You cannot take care of them at night. They must have a daytime schedule, not a nocturnal schedule. You can't switch it around on them. They must have their schedule. If you can't do it for them and be physically up for them, you can buy a timer and put them on a timer. They do not like a shallow bedding. They like a deep bedding that they can dig. So you must have a deep enough bedding for them to dig into. So you put a base layer of dirt, and then you put mulch on top of that dirt that has to be all organic. You can't just go to the hardware store and buy just any bag. It has to be organic. So either the pet store, or make sure it's organic and pesticide free, chemical free, no colorings. Okay? These guys, you do not have to have humidifiers. I don't use a humidifier. I do put a small bowl of water because I only soak my tortoise once a week. These are not daily soakers. If they are on a proper diet, which is also why I don't feed commercial pellets, because that causes constipation in tortoises. Stay away from the commercial pellets. It's not healthy for them. Okay? That causes constipation and impaction in your tortoise. If you have constipation problems, it's because you're feeding commercial pellets. Feed a natural diet. It's cheaper. It's just about free. You can feed your tortoise for free. Who wouldn't want to do that? Put a small bowl near your light and you get natural humidity, because that light is going to cause that small bowl, ceramic bowl of water, to naturally humidify your tortoise's space. It's all the humidity they need. Too much humidity is going to cause your tortoise to get sick. It's going to cause your tortoise to have lung issues and get pneumonia and die. When you put your bedding in, lightly spritz it so that there's no excess powder and dust. And when you put the mulch layer on top, then it's not going to be any dust. See how nice and level the scoots are on my tortoise's back? There's no pyramiding. None whatsoever. My tortoise is extremely healthy. He gets a vegetable that is high in liquid content, which is the zucchini. I change it up. I never feed any fruit. No fruit. I went out and picked him some dandelion leaves this morning. There's dried fruit. I mean, not fruit. There's dried flower leaves. And I went out and picked him wild grasses. That's all you gotta do. Go out and pick some grass. That's just grass. He has broke down hay in here, but you don't feed a lot of hay. There's a little bit of hay in here. It's mixed up in his mulch and stuff where he's been digging and composting. But it should never be dirty enough in here to completely empty the whole cage. You should be just having to take out the mess. I've never had to empty this thing completely, ever. Because it's a deep litter bioderm. This is the way it should be maintained. And right now he's just basking in his corner with his light over here. Looking up at his light and completely healthy. You don't need all this humidifiers. That's going to make them sick. You don't put all that in there. No humidifiers in here whatsoever. None. Proper lighting, proper diet, airflow, proper bedding is all that is needed. That's all you need. And quit soaking them too much. They don't need it. They don't need all that water.